Hey everyone, how you doing? It's me, Imran, Web Squadron. Hope you're okay. Slightly changed my desk, ever so slightly, moved it a little bit that way, bit more distance from the background, and obviously you got to check your lighting and everything, and it's always a pain. It's always a pain. Hope you're okay. At the moment, Mondays are very busy for me for the next 4, 5 Mondays in a row, very clogged up with stuff for very bizarre reasons. So I don't get much relaxation time on Monday. But I'm glad to be here. Hope you're all doing okay. I don't have a major topic in mind, so I'm going to see where the conversation grows today. Hey Lex, how you doing? I mean, I've been playing around a little bit more with some. I was trying to create this AI tool, right? Hey, me Philly. I was trying to create this AI tool which was gonna let you generate filters for your website, whether you're using posts, products, custom post types. And there's loads of plugins out there already. But I was working on something where you could generate your own like filter. You'd have radio, checkbox, drop down, multi-select, all of that. You could exclude items, include items, whether you can have the parent, child, and that kind of thing. Hey, Mark. And it went, yeah, I thought I had it working, and then it just went completely wrong. So I've just shelved that. One of the things I do, though, is when I'm working on like a snippet or a bit of AI tool or something, when I hit the point of failure, I shelve it. I don't like go right, forget it. In a way, I do say forget it. But what I then do is come back to it 2 days later or a week or two later, and then suddenly my brain goes, right, what if we try a different approach? What if we try and get around this problem thinking of it like this? Because AI is your aid, right? AID, it's your aid. A lot of the direction of where the AI will take you and the solution it creates is actually down to you. So we hit a problem and then I'll start to brainstorm, well, how could we get around it? What have we got? What could we use? And how can we circumvent that particular problem? Hey, Tower Kangas. Hey, Chris. And another AI tool I've been working on, and again, I've shelved it, was so let me explain, right? Okay. Um, when you build a web page, there's lots of tools out there that will assess your page to say, have you got the right HTML hierarchy? Have you got the right ARIA labels, your color contrast? Have you got the right landmarks? There's loads of tools out there. But what I've been working on, and I got it to a point where it was really good. And then I realized, it's missing a trick somewhere. And that's where it started to fall apart. Hey, Anthony G. And what this tool does is it sits in the bottom right corner, but you can drag it around your screen anywhere you want. And it works on Elementor, Bricks, WordPress, practically any page builder, because it's for WordPress in a way. And the way it was meant to work, and it kind of did work, and I've hit a barrier with it, is as you're building your page, at any time you click this icon, it will tell you, have you got more than one main landmark? Have you got more than one header? Have you got more than one nav? Which you may do, because you may have your nav in your header and your footer. So you got two navs, but as long as they've got different IDs. Does your page not start with a H1? So does your page start with a H2? Have you got like a H2, H5, H3? So your hierarchy is incorrect or whatever. Are you missing ARIA labels? Is it your color contrast? All these kind of things. Because for me, it's like as you're building, if you regularly just click this pane, it's going to tell you that's not right. You forgot about this. What about that? Because if you start to get your things right from the get-go, when you get to the end, alt image descriptions missing. Are your images next generation WebP or not? And if you want to ignore the recommendation, you can ignore it. You don't have to follow it, but it gives you these tips and stuff as you go on. So when you get to the end of that page, hopefully you've addressed every potential issue. So if you were to run it through like WebAIM or Equalize Digital or even the Elementor Ally or any other tool, you should be like green, 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 green. You're ticking all the boxes. You're not going to get unstuck by you're missing an ARIA label or I even went so far to say were your buttons very vague descriptions. So if you've got like read more, click here, call me, contact me, or whatever, very vague in a way, it would alert you or let you know. But you make that decision. You can ignore it and go, no, no, I'm fine with that. Client's okay with that. We're gonna have click me, read me. We're gonna, fuck you. This is what we're gonna go for. You go with it. But wouldn't it be great if rather than assessing at the end, there's nothing worse, in my opinion, than if you've got like a 30-page website, full blown, the client signed off, everyone is happy, and then you go and assess it, and then you go, shit in me. There's like 30 issues per page. Who's got the time to sort that out? But if you build in a better way, correctly from the get-go, because the way I like to build is, hey, Palav, by the way, the way I like to build is I do my header, right? Get that polished. Then I do my hero banner, get that polished. And check for the mobile, make sure it's responsive for the tablet and mobile, make sure everything is good. And then when you come to do every other section, you're almost duplicating a previous section, right? And then you tweak it, and then you go, right, I'm going to have another section now. I'll duplicate that one and rejig it because it's got like the padding. It's got the header in. It's got the text in there. You're just going to change the content. It might have a text image layout. And you go, yeah, I'll use that same layout somewhere else or on another page. And when you get one page done and dusted, pretty polished off, and you come to do other pages, my about page is a duplicate of the home page, but you get rid of the hero banner and you get rid of this, you get rid of that, and you might add something in. Your contact me page is a copy of the about page, but you take more out and you leave a few things in, stick a form in or whatever. Your services page, your case study page, your gallery page, everything kind of is a duplicate of something else. And when you get your primary homepage or whatever you want to call your primary page, the one you're going to spend the most time on, when you get that done and dusted, it makes things so much easier. So I was working on something and I shelved it because I hit a stupid problem. I got it to the point where it was working really well. The problem I had, and I had sorted it out, and then it crept back in, and it really bugged me as to, right, what do I do here? Because the solution I was using before wasn't working. Is when it was alerting you to like missing ARIA labels or stuff. Because, oh yeah, and that's the other thing as well. It works when you're editing. There's one thing I don't like. A lot of tools work on the preview or the published version, right? Which I always feel like is detached. What I had, and it was working up to a point, is when you're editing with Elementor or editing with Bricks or editing with WordPress, Classic Editor, Gutenberg, whatever, it was telling you then. But I tweaked it to do a bit more, and now what it was doing was it was picking up all of the Elementor interface, the top bar and the bottom, everything like that. Even the sidebar. So it pops up and it says you're missing the ARIA label for about 15 items because it's picking up all of the icons at the top. The site settings, the structure, the logo, every little thing was getting detected and picked up. And I was like, we can't have this. We can't have this. So I've shelved it for now. But the moment I get a bit of time, I'm going to revisit that. Whoops, I hit the microphone. By the way, what do you guys hear? Can someone let me know in the comments? What do you hear when I do this? Do you get like a reverberation or an echo noise? That's shaking. What do you get? But I'm going to revisit the filter one as well. I've just had something's just come through here. What's this come through? Start a QA, start a files. No, I don't want to do that. What's going on? What's going on? Stop that. Stop that. Hey, Dev Dreamer, how you doing? Hey, Hamel. Really, you don't get anything web design. So when I do this, because sometimes I accidentally knock like the microphone, and it says to me on OBS, it says it's picking something up, but I'm never too sure. What do you guys actually hear? Yeah, a little knock. Okay, it's not so bad. I normally edit those out when I do hit it. If you hit it hard, you get a slight sound. Thank you very much. So yeah, I was working on something just to, I call it, it was going to be called the page builder aid. No, the builder aid. No, it wasn't the builder aid. It was the builder audit. The name of it was builder audit, or even the auditor, because I seem to call all of my stuff, all of them end with an load primer, pix refiner, mask curver. What else have I done? PDF viewer. I've done quite a few, haven't I? I've done a few little useful tools, and that's what I love to do. I love it when I create or come up with something that is scalable for you. You wouldn't just use it for one website. There's a very good chance you would use it for others. Clamp calculator, contrast checker. There's another two. Got quite a few, haven't I? Load primer. I said that one already. So yeah. And it is deeply annoying, right? Let me tell you now. When I have, and it doesn't happen all the time, but when I have that like day where I've got no deadlines, or that moment where I can give all my focus onto working on something. When it does not work for you, you really do get fidgety and really annoyed. You know, I love to achieve, and I get really, really excited. Hey, Mystique. Hey, Jurgen. How you doing? I get really, really excited when I'm working on a snippet and I can see it working, right? And it's doing everything. And then, bam! It doesn't work. Or you overlooked something that maybe a seasoned veteran developer would have spotted a mile off. You know, I mean, I am not an expert JavaScript C programmer coder, right? I'm good with HTML. I'm really good with CSS, but when it comes to JavaScript, boy oh boy, code snippets, not code snippets, AI, ChatGPT has massively helped me out on that. But yeah, we'll see where we go. But I would love to get that out because I do think that I think it's a great way of helping people to develop from the get-go. You know, wouldn't it be great as you're building, right? And then you go and you've done your hero banner, and rather than you publishing, going to preview, or going to another third-party website, dumping in your URL, or running another separate plugin to assess the page or whatever, even the contrast checker, you got to go to WordPress admin, right, to see my contrast checker. What if, right, you could literally just have your page and then you click this little button, and you can drag the button anywhere you want, right? It doesn't have to be in the bottom right. You can drag it wherever you want. It says audit. And here's the other really cool thing about the button. It's green and red. So if as you're building, nothing on your page is failing any of the audits I've built in, it stays green. It's always green. And the minute you go and do something that fails an audit, the button goes red. It's literally alerting you as you're building. And when you click the button, it's then going to go, it will only tell you where there's a problem. And that's the other thing I really like about it. You know, if you got a duplicate main because your theme or your page builder already added the main landmark, but you thought, oh, I'm not sure, and you went and added it in again, it actually tells you. And if you have got two, a bit like the landmarker, oh, that's another one I created, the landmarker tool. When you hover over any of the issues, it highlights it. So when you know, similar to what other tools do, but the difference with them is you have to stick your URL into a third-party tool, and they are so limited in what they actually do. So a lot of them will say, you got an ARIA label issue. Hey, Beatrice, you got an ARIA label issue, but then they don't really tell you exactly how to fix it. They just say, click a link, learn about ARIA labels and attributes. And you read it and you go, that did not really help me explain or understand what I have to fix. Whereas mine is the language I'm using. I'm being critically flipping clear here on what you need to do. And if you have got two mains, it will tell you. It will literally be telling you one of your mains is in your theme, therefore it's already built into your theme, right? So when you build out the page, the main is there, and the other main is inside your page builder, so you manually added it. So it's telling you, right? The other tools don't always do that. They just go, oh, you got duplicate main, or they don't even tell you got duplicate main. They just go, yeah, please revisit the landmarks. And you're like, I haven't been on holiday. What are you talking about? I'm hoping I get there, because I'll be gutted if I can't crack it. And I know I can crack it because I've cracked a lot of stuff. So focus. That's all I need. I need focus. And lately, though, when my son was on school holidays, I struggled to get a lot of stuff done. I did surprise myself and still get things done, but not as much as I normally would, you know, because I was balancing off looking after my son as well. Ever since he's been back at school since last Thursday, my progress has been, not splintered, but fragmented. Like today, there was no one else in the house after 8:30, just me on my own. I could have recorded, I could have worked on something with pure focus, and I struggled. And then I sat back, hey Eddie, I then sat back and thought to myself, who cares, right? You're having what I call an off day in terms of content creation. That's okay. You know, don't beat yourself up about it. It's not like you had an urgent deadline to meet. It's not like there was an urgent website project that had to be completed off. It's not like you're collaborating and you agree to help someone out with something. You're having an off day and you just don't feel hyped up and motivated to record any videos. It happens, right? You get a bit, not burnt out, but you get a bit like, I can't be arsed. I really can't be bothered. But then that's where I then use the time I would have spent recording and editing to dive into solving a problem or thinking about a different way of tackling a problem. So one I'm working on at the moment today is about where you have like two sections, red section, black section. No, let me say that the right way. Red section, red section. As you scroll down, the red section turns into black. It's like a fade-in effect, but it's not your traditional scrolling effect fade-in. But it's something I'm just trying to do in a really, really simple, easy way as much as possible. There is some JavaScript code involved, but I want to keep it really simple to do without having to mess around with pseudo containers and stuff like that. And once again, I was doing really well, nearly got it working. And again, I don't know, something about me today. My brain's... Sorry, sometimes I do yawn a lot. My brain's been a little bit... I don't know. It's not that I'm struggling to focus. It's just that it's almost like, I don't know, I feel like maybe I need it today. I do find that because Monday is the first day after the weekend, and during the weekend I'll be looking after my son more, and it's not all happy. We have our moments where we'll argue and he'll really irritate me, or I'll irritate him, or someone else from another family or a neighbor irritates me, Always happens on weekends, doesn't it? And then you get to Monday and like your family are busy, your neighbors are busy, your son's at school, home is clear. And it's almost like Monday becomes my wind down, get back into work mode. It's weird, isn't it? A lot of people treat Sunday like that. Whereas for me, because like I'm at home 24/7, 7 days a week and all that, my Sundays are not rest days. I'm still working here and there. And then, your son and things and whatever. Webrizer, I'm rebuilding my WordPress site and want to keep my Google ranking. Any tips on how to do that? Well, you're not going to lose your Google ranking unless you've gone and done something really, really major, like you've changed your domain, which I'm guessing you're not because you're rebuilding your website. You may change your keywords. Well, if you're now targeting different keywords, you're now going to have to get ranked for those keywords. So you got to think a little bit about that. But what worries you? Why do you think your Google ranking's going to get affected by what you're building? I've rebuilt the learn.websquadron.co.uk homepage so many times, and it's never affected my ranking. You know why? Because I regurgitate the same keywords. I might change the presentation, but the logic behind the certain keywords and phrases I'm using, that's quite consistent. Ever since I first ever set that website up, learn.websquadron. So my keywords and phrases I'm using, they're there. They just might be in different places. That's all. Eddie, in the last live chat, you showed your mouse and said it is better than the Apple mouse. Can you tell me what brand and model, please? I can't remember. Oh, yes, I can actually. It's the, there we go, Logitech Pebble. Logitech Pebble. It's probably going to look very, very messy because obviously my fingers have been all over it. Logi. You can get them in. Oh, there's a bit of a mark on there, isn't there? Oh dear. Pen marks. Pen marks on the side. Let's get that into focus. Focus. There we go. Pen marks there. But it's the Logitech Pebble. Logi. There's different colors for it. Just get it off. Just get it off Amazon. Can't remember how much it was, but they're not expensive. Webrizer says, I mean with a new WordPress installation. Right. So if you're doing a complete brand new WordPress installation, it will still be the same domain. You must know what keywords you had and what you're currently ranking for, right? So if you know what your keywords in your ranking are, what you're ranking for or what you were always promoting as your keywords, when you build your new WordPress installation, assuming it is still the same domain, you'll just regurgitate the same keywords. It's quite logical, really. Quite logical. If you're going to use a different domain, well, now you're in the same boat as everyone else who's trying to rank for those keywords, right? So can you just confirm, is it the same domain? Oops, I just realized I still got Eddie's message up there. Is it the same domain or is it a different domain? Yep, same domain. So, if you're ranking for, I don't know, what are we thinking about? If you're ranking for Elementor websites, right? And that's what you were using in your keywords. When you build out your new website, you'll just stick in Elementor websites for your keywords. And that's it. Of course, though, bear in mind, though, that if you have a lot of downtime, that could hurt you a little bit. So you want to make sure that, it sounds quite extreme that you're doing a full-on WordPress installation, a brand new one. What's the reasons you got going on there? Is it because you feel like you had a lot of junk in the back end with previously installed plugins and themes and code and logic and stuff. What's your reason for why you're doing a WordPress installation? I can't blame you because when I've messed around with the site for like a long time, hey Aquitas, when I've messed around a long time, I like to do a full clean installation as well. There's nothing worse than when you try and improve or redo a website, and even though you ditch a lot of bad code and themes and plugins, there's always these remnants floating around, like Cinder. It's always there. Ember, not Cinder. What did I say Cinder for? Ember, like Fire Ember, floating around. In some weird way, a lot of us now have to start thinking about Christmas time. Start planning out your prezzies and what you're going to do. Jurgen, it's just build it on a subdomain, and when it's ready to... See, that's what I would do, what Jurgen is saying. I'm just trying to work out what's the need for you to do a whole new WordPress installation kind of thing. And what Jurgen has said there is kind of how I would approach it too. Because it's, it's not really the same if you do a staging site kind of thing, because you want to do a whole new WordPress installation. But I would, subdomain makes absolute logical sense. So you build it out and then you do it. So your current website was built from a WordPress template, WebRiser says, from a company they quit and not support. Now, this is interesting, WebRiser, right? So I'm going to now dig deeper on this, okay? I'm going to dig deeper on this, okay? So you're a web designer, right? Web designer, web developer. Hold on a moment. I think this is my son. Hold on. Ugh, that was my son. Anyway, let me get back to the thing. So me Feely says, where do I get work from? Upwork is hectic, too much on bidding. If I'm really honest, me Phil, you got to go to my learn.websquadron.co.uk website. Go and check out how to get clients. I've got a $2 guide. There's loads of tips in there that are going to help you to understand what you need to do. The reason I'm not saying it on here is because I've kind of spoken about it many, many times. But what I will say is, you could contact local businesses. You could contact people that have got an outdated website. And what you really want to be saying, is what you want to be saying to them is give them an example of what you can do for them. So take their logo and say, look, your website could look better like this. So give them a dummy website just to get them to understand that this is what we could build for you. A different hero banner, a homepage, and get them to understand the benefits. Right, back to you, WebRiser, right? So web designer, web developer. I'm a little bit intrigued by this because I have heard of this before, but I never get like a proper answer from someone. So your website was built by someone else, okay? Was that website that was built before for building websites, or was it for a different business? I'd love to know. So your website was built with a WordPress template from a company that are no longer around. Was that for your business where you build websites, or was it for a completely different business? Because I'm pretty sure I can't be the only one wondering that question. Aquitas, the biggest issue with Elementor I ever had and never could solve is loading times with Elementor. Do you know something? I don't get that issue. I I mean, I've never really ever had that issue, really. I don't know why. I know some other people do, but I don't get that issue. I mean, yeah, when you are opening like page, hey Phil, I know when you're opening up a page or a template, sometimes it might take 2 to 5 seconds, but that's kind of part and parcel of lots of different tools. Do you know what, Mark? I'm not sure. I think you're right, Mark. Let me just read back again. It says a website built with a WordPress template. The thing is, though, I'm still intrigued, Mark, because, and this is going to sound really like stuck up. In fact, what I'm going to say now is going to sound really, really stuck up. And I bet lots of you are not going to like what I'm about to say. But if you're a web designer or a developer and you're building your website based on a template, see, look, there you go. It's a photography. There you go. So that's why it's okay. Right. So that is 7 years before. The only reason it bugs me a bit is because I have come across web designers, right? In fact, I've done reviews of some of them when they would send me their website and they said, can you do a review? And I remember there was a couple I did. And I remember when I reviewed it, I was like, this looks familiar. And then I realized all they had done was use a template kind of thing. And I was like, what? What? You're a web designer and you're just using like a template kind of thing. So back to where are we going? Yeah, so Aquitas, yeah, I mean, could be your memory, could be. So yeah, Weberizer. Okay, so your photography website. Hey, look, just I just do a subdomain, right? And then I mean, it all depends on your host provider, right? But one thing you could do is you subdomain, fresh installation, you create your website, put your SEO tools in there, make sure your keywords are as good as they need to be. Then you just export it, right? And you don't get rid of that subdomain website. You keep it intact, and then you go to your current website, the primary domain, and you import the new thing. And then you fix if there's any little fixes. Technically, it should all still be okay. You know, there might be the odd link here or there, but again, it should feed through. And that's it. Job done. Jobby job done. I'm not very good on Hostinger. I'm not a big fan of Hostinger, I have to be honest. I know a lot of people promote Hostinger, Cloudways, all of them. I don't like them that much. Dev Dreamer, how to check the exact responsiveness of the website and what are the best breakpoints? I don't believe there is any best breakpoint. Responsively app, Responsinator. There's tools and apps out there. You could easily Google ChatGPT. So I've given you 2 there. My recommendation is you build for your desktop, you check your tablet, you check your mobile, you add bits, you take away bits where needed. You use fluid typography for your font clamps, so your fonts go big and small. You can do it for your padding, your margin, your image, your spacing, your row gap, your column gap, loads of different areas. And if you build like that and you make sure you have an appropriately sized cover image for the mobile hero banner as opposed to the desktop hero banner, because a lot of people tend to still use the full width and then they realize that it's adding in some performance lag on the mobile. So think about your images. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. There's no right or wrong answer, in my opinion, right? Because 10 years ago, we would have said desktop, tablet, iPad, when it first came out, and here's your mobile. And then we had the mobile screens got bigger with, since the iPhone 6, I think it was, when we got the bigger Pro version or the Plus, I think it was known then, And then we have different size mobiles, and then you got folding screens and all of that. So no right or wrong answer, but plain and simple answer is get on board with fluid typography and you'll be happy. You might not be happy, but you'll be happier. But that's what I would say. So exact responsiveness. And so many people, when it comes to breakpoints, I just use the standard that Elementor give me. Because I'm using fluid typography, I don't care. Yeah, spacing, fluid spacing, all of that. Because I'm doing that, I really don't care much. And I always find that if you cover off your desktop, your tablet, and your mobile, everything that falls in between kind of is. And you just have to accept that if someone has got a really small desktop monitor or a laptop, and depending on their laptop screen, it falls in between like a desktop or a tablet view, as long as it looks good. That's the key thing, right? And then people go, yeah, but what if they're using a mega big, like, widescreen monitor? Seriously, right? Yeah, I just go for boxed width all the time. All right? Because when you try and factor in a 49-inch screen, come on. You want your text to go all the way there. And then you want your image to go all the way over there. Like, you're expecting them to go like that when they're looking at the screen. No, just build it out and you'll be fine. Well, that's what I think. Imran from Web Squadron. Like, subscribe, share, and follow. See you soon. Bye. Not really. If I'm building a client's website for the first time, should I use a specific security plugin? So I like to use Malcare. I like to use a header security plugin as well. If you go to learn.websquadron.co.uk, in fact, I'll show you really quickly. Where is it? Oh, damn it. Damn it. I was working on something on a different screen, and luckily I shut it down, but luckily I had saved it. So let me, here we go, right. So if you go to our website and you scroll down to, where is it? Here you go. Open the plugins pack, right? So here are the plugins I like to use. So when it comes to security, Header Security Advanced and HSTSWP, that's a good one. And then there's the Malcare one. I like to use that. That's from the Blog Vault team. But they're the two I like to use. And then on top of that, you just kind of hopefully use or rely on what your host provider also provides as well. And hopefully, if you want to go for more, you can go for more. You want to go for Patch Stack, you want to go for other stuff, you can go ahead for it. But yeah. Oh yeah, Hoverify. Yes, forgot about that one as well. Ninja Firewall. So Ninja Firewall does it as well. I mean, base it on like what features you want or what the budget is or whatever for some of them. Webrise asks, is it free? Which ones? Do you mean Malcare? Malcare is free, but I would recommend you go for the premium version. The header HSTS security one is also free. You don't need to go premium for that. Am I still using WP Umbrella? I've never used WP Umbrella. I still use WP Remote, if that's the one you mean. That's from the Blog Vault team. WordFence, no, stopped using that years ago. In fact, I stopped using that 4 years ago. Hated it. Absolutely hated WordFence. Then there was the all-in-one security plugin, which was good-ish. It was all right, but WordFence, yeah, exactly what Phil says there. WordFence, it was clunky. It had a lot of crap. It wasn't intuitive. Sometimes, even though I worked with it quite a lot when I was using it before I switched to all-in-one security and I fell out of love with that, Every time I was installing WordFence, I would be probably spending half an hour to an hour overthinking the settings. What about that? What about this? And so many times WordFence would knock out. What would it knock out? It used to affect. Oh, I can't remember now. It used to affect. Oh, I can't remember. It used to affect some other plugins for no good reason because it was way too secure in what it did. So yeah. But you know what? Sometimes you just got to go with what you want to go for. I mean, what Phil's done is really good because he like performance checks which plugins he's going to use. I mean, that's next level development. That's really good. You know, you start to, a bit like when you buy a computer, right? And people are testing out the processing speed. But you need to make a decision on what you want to go for. Meanwhile, where'd you get all your work from? Any tip would be helpful. Word of mouth, referrals. People sometimes watch my video and then hire me on the back of that. People find me. I have connections and things like that. I used to work in the NHS, so I know a lot of people, right? And there's always people dropping in and out. I used to write a lot. So like literally late last night, about 1-ish a.m., I get a message from someone who I haven't seen in about 5 years. Oh, hey, Imran, how you doing? A friend of mine wants a website. Just confirm your details. They're going to get them to contact me. So some of the connections you have can bring things back into you because it's not just about the fact that you're a web designer. I can tell you now, right? Let's say there is someone who knows 20 people who are web designers, okay? And they're all good. The person who they connect with better, who's more relatable, who's more normal. And when I say normal, I mean natural, as in they're real. They're not faking it to making it. They're not a gimmick. They're not an avatar. There's a personality. They're warm. They're genuine. You get on with them. You can have a laugh with them. Hey, we can go out for a drink or whatever. They are more likely to refer you. But if you're just robotic, I'm a web designer, I do this, I never show my face, I am invisible on social media, you get forgotten. So become known. Become someone, something memorable. Do that, and people do start to recommend you. It does happen. Quickly check some of the comments because I've missed a few. Beatrice says, your elemental settings videos are pure gold. Could you please make a short update on that? Yeah, I am planning to, Beatrice. I actually am planning to, Beatrice. And I was going to redo the entire elemental website course, and I've just slightly held back on that at the moment, mainly because I am just waiting for version 4. But yeah, that is on my radar. So on my to-do videos, that one is there for the elemental settings. Because yes, a lot of it has changed and I need to update my website as well. Yeah, like Eddie said, WordFence uses too much resources and it can spike. If you go to your host provider and you can assess or see a chart for your CPU usage, there will be occasions where it goes like that. And it's literally WordFence for stupid reasons. WebRiser says, if I'm building a client site on a temporary domain, can I set up Yoast Analytics? Look, so my recommendation is, sorry, am I on the right screen? Ooh, I've just realized. Hold on a moment. There you go. You can, but my tip would be, here's my tip, my personal tip, right? Do it, but you're going to have to revisit it all when you move over the domain to the primary domain. So often what I tend to do is I leave all of that. That's going to take me a day, right? Because you might be going through different pages and stuff. You know what you're building. You build it all out. but I wouldn't install that until after it's been moved to the primary domain. And then I spend a day fixing the links, making sure the keywords are definitely in. Do your Yoast settings. I don't know why you're using Yoast, but I hate Yoast, but do your settings or independent analytics. You do all of that, and then you're good to go. Then you're good to go, right? That's the best time to then do your, why is this not working? Something's not working. There you go. That's the best time to do your double check your search console, resubmit your sitemap, your indexing, check your analytics, tag manager, everything is still okay. That's the best time to do it, right? Move it over, then do it. Because if you do it before, then you move it over, there might be a break, or it might still be pointing to the wrong site, and then your connections get blown up, kind of thing. WebLogic, in your opinion, are web professionals a good niche target for web designers? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no, and here's why, right? Here's why. A lot of, if it's a private company, you might get some business. If they're part of a hospital, well, their website's going to be built by a contracted team. So they already have their team to lean on. However, a lot of web people in the NHS or health professionals or medical, could even be a doctor, they have side hustles, things they do outside of work. Maybe they make jewelry. Maybe they sell XYZ. Maybe they make music. So going to them is pointless because you don't know what they're doing. So there's no point going to a doctor and going, hey, do you want a medical website? Because that's not what they may be looking for. Does that make sense? Unless you know there is someone looking for a website, you can go and target them, but you might get very low hit rate. Yeah, Beatrice. So I think version 4, I think it's a year or 2 years away. Because we don't even have the final version of version 4. And then we're going to go from alpha to beta, and that could take longer. So I don't know. I feel like we've still got a while to go. I feel like it's a slow release at the moment. Yes, you're right, Eddie. You're absolutely right, Eddie. I saw that. I have not gone for the pro version yet, but I do agree. The whole hotspot mapping of that is really, really good. And it was nice of them to release that as well. Do you host websites for clients? I don't anymore. Used to, don't anymore. And I'll tell you why. I can't give 2 fucks about sorting out people's connections and their email problems and sorting out their inodes and oddodes and pubodes and all of that. I can't be asked, right? Because that sort of stuff is not fun. If you like to get dirty with all of that, the SSLs and all of these little things, do it. I know it's a great recurring income model. I hate it. It always takes away the fun of creating, right? Always takes away the fun of creating. And I just don't want to do it. So I have slowly over time relinquished legacy clients. So I'm still there to build their website. I'm still there to do, run updates for them or, create new additions to their website when needed. But when it comes to the back-end hosting side of things, I really don't care, really, because I don't care that I lose income on that. I want to build, I want to build. Francesco, you're watching from Melbourne, Australia. It's good to be here and see you. Like, hey, thanks. What? Ooh, hold on, mate. Is it 2 a.m. in the morning for you right now? I love to make my own website for my business. That's why I'm here to learn what I don't know. Oh, no, sorry. I've read the wrong one now. Sorry, that was Aquitas's question. Yeah, Aquitas. Sorry. Francesco was saying, I've been away from Elementor because people were leaving it behind because of other... Yeah, I mean, look. I think Elementor has improved a lot in the last 2 years. There are still imperfections. There are still things that I kind of go, why are they overlooking this? There are still things that are not the best. But the fact that a brand new Elementor website is now 100%, before it used to be 65 to 70, it's a whole lot better. It's lighter, you know. There's still a fair amount of DOM and render that gets done, but it's I'm happy. And if I wasn't happy, I wouldn't use it. Seriously, I wouldn't. You should know by now that I am not the one to take anything that annoys me lightly. If I don't like something, right, get out of it. It's gone. It's off the table, right? Boom. Done and dusted. I don't hold back. At any time I don't like my car, I get rid. Do you know how many cars I've owned in my life? I'm 46 years old. Shall I tell you how many cars I've owned, right? I'll go through all of them, right? So, Fiat Punto, Fiat Stilo, they weren't the greatest. Then it was Toyota Corolla. Then it was Honda CRV. Then it was Honda CRV. Oh, God, my memory's going now. Honda CRV. Seat Leon, right? Alfa Romeo Mito. Citroen DS3. Hyundai Veloster. What was after the Hyundai Veloster? What was after that? Honda. Oh, what was it? Honda Civic. Then I went back to the Hyundai Veloster. After that Hyundai Veloster, I then went for a Mazda 3. Then a Jaguar XE. Or was it XF? I think it was XC. I think it was Jaguar XC. Then BMW. No, then back to a different Mazda. Then I went to a BMW Grand Coupe. And then I changed to another BMW Grand Coupe. So that's 15 cars in 40s and I got my first car in, let me get this right. I got my first car in 2022 because I didn't need it. I didn't get my first car until I was 23. 23. Yeah, 23 years old. So in 13 years, I've had 15 cars. If I don't like something, I ditch or I move, I change, I adapt. Seriously, Phil, you've had more than me. This is mind-blowing, mate. What's the last shiny new toy you invested in? It's got to be my camera. It's got to be this camera. It's the Sony Z. Can't remember now. The ZVE10 Mark II. I think that's what the model is. It's really good. Really, really good. And you can see the difference it makes even on live chats. We're getting 2K quality for live chats. That's quite a big thing for live chats. 11:30. Nice to hear that, Francesco. Make sure you get good sleep. Bujo, how do you still suggest Elementor versus native Gutenberg? Hey, listen to me, right? Yeah, I don't rate Gutenberg at the moment. I really, really don't. I really, really, really don't. Steve, question about V4. Can you only apply a BG image on container in the overlay? Yes, at the moment, yeah. It's a bit... What you do is you add an image and then you can add another image. There's a plus sign so you can stack. So you can have an image, you could stack a color, you could stack another image, you could change the transparency, you can add another color on top of that. A little bit convoluted though, but you can stack stuff. Mine weren't company cars. Mine are all me. Mine are all me and my wheeling and dealing kind of thing in what I do. Right, we have been live for 54 minutes. I've got a feeling my son's going to be home in a bit. So I'll be clocking off in a couple of minutes, I think. He's left school early because he's not been feeling very well. I think that's just his tactic I do sometimes. You know, he kind of he says he's not feeling well and then he gets to leave school, which I really hate when he does that. But no, he's not back yet. I've got the camera on now so I can see when he drives in. My wife is bringing him home, which would have been fun for her. I think they've gone McDonald's. I did say to him, get me 6 nuggets. I should have said get a quarter pounder now. Stupid me. I should have said get... Oh, hold on. I'm going to have to send him a message. I'm going to send him a message. Have you bought the stuff from McDonald's? Get me a quarter pounder instead. Get me 2 quarter pounders. Smiley face, smiley face. I don't eat the bread. I don't eat, yeah, but I don't eat the bread. I don't eat the bread. I don't eat the bap. I'll give them the baps and they can do what they want with it. But I'll just eat the meat kind of thing. Francesco says, I have been creating lots of quick animations and digital design collateral using Adobe Express. I'm going to use it to create quick clips following your advice for organic SEO. Oh, right. Okay. In terms of marketing, then, you mean like putting out videos and stuff like that? I mean, people genuinely take interest when they see people creating things. And I always feel like that's the best way to build up your profile. Everyone here who has ever asked a question or is thinking of, well, how do I get clients, right? The video I put out yesterday... No, the video I put out today saying it's your fault is all about marketing. You and your businesses, your clients, websites built, you got a Fiverr profile, Upwork profile, you told your friends and family that you build a website and whoop, no one comes to have a website built. No one has anything. No one contacts you and you start to lose faith and hope and you get upset. At the end of the day, what kind of marketing are you doing? And 9 times out of 10, people aren't doing... I'm just going to put my phone in. 9 times out of 10, people aren't doing any marketing whatsoever. Like they're not telling anyone anything. They're not sharing anything on Twitter. And it could be something as simple as I'm having a quarter pounder. I've been working really hard on this new web design. I've been learning a different way to apply XYZ. It's okay to share that you're learning, but you don't know everything. Because someone might comment and go, have you considered this though? And all of a sudden, if you genuinely were learning something and then someone shares like a tool to make your life 10 times easier or an easier way of understanding what you're learning, aren't you going to appreciate and love that kind of thing? You know, so, yeah. I seem unusually chilled. It's because things are okay. Things are okay on my end in terms of... No, of course not. Of course not. This one's... I mean, this is my... Hang on. 1, 2, 3. This is my 4th can so far today. Oh, it's my son. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. All right, that was a little bit funny. That was my wife ringing, and she was really angry with me. She was like, "What do you want? I'm at the till." I'm like, I mean, I text her, so it's on the text, right? It's on the fucking text. Read the text. So I said 2 quarter pounders, and her response was 2 quarter pounders. Like, yeah, 2 quarter pounders. Anyway, 2 quarter pounders. Feeling good now. Yeah. Yay, quarter pounders. Look, the way I look at it, right, I don't eat the bread. I'll have the protein meat kind of thing, you know. So unusually chilled out. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's been I think sometimes I have to make myself chilled out and feel good. I have to make myself excited, elated, because I won't eat the bread though, Edward. I won't have the bread, right? I won't have the bread, and I won't have like some of the stuff inside. It's mainly the meat. I'm going for the meat kind of thing. Um, Anthony, working on a new site using Gutenberg and doing some content population. Yeah, I mean, you know, Gutenberg is still for me very undeveloped, right? I mean, I think the other week Gutenberg now has mega menu, and the excitement in the Gutenberg WordPress world about mega menu is like, whoa! And I'm like, chill out, man. Chill out. Right. So it's when you look at the evolution of web design, right? Elementor was there. Then Elementor lagged and other stuff came out. Now Elementor is, moving up a bit. But, there's always competition. Gutenberg is still like that. Gutenberg, for me, is still the Georgian era. Georgian era? No, it's the Great Depression, right? Okay, so it's the Great Depression era, right? Whereas everything else is like the AI era. And I know has anyone looked at the word? I can't remember what it's called now. Teletech. What's it called? The WordPress AI tool. Yeah, the WordPress AI tool. I really, 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 it failed so much. I was testing it out with basic stuff, and boy, did it fail and get things wrong. But then that's machine learning for you, isn't it? That's machine learning. But one of the reasons why I feel like I'm probably very chilled out on the live chat is because I can be me. I can forget about my problems. I'm not looking at emails. I'm forgetting about any issues, something someone has said to me or done or whatever, and family and friends and commitments and all this stuff. You can forget about it. And I can tell you now, the last week and a half has been super, super stressful between me and my son. He started new medication on Friday. It's a very serious thing, try and help him out. There's things going on at school. There are people bullying him outside. The police were involved now. We've got a meeting with the police tonight. I'm already saying too much. He's not at fault, but it's what other people are doing and around him and stuff. And it's so much going on. So much. But sometimes when I'm on a live chat, I think it's the only time because I think it's one of the very few only times where I can just let it out. I'm seeing one of my best friends. Well, I say my best friend on Saturday. But even then, neither me or her can be ourselves. We can't be how we are if we're alone, whatever. Because I've got Raheem, she's got kids. You kind of have to just mellow it down because we are parents, right? But deep down, you just want to explode out and have a laugh. Explode out and have a... Yeah, I mean, I think the thing was, Phil, is that it really failed on really basic stuff. And I'm one of those people where, like, if they had brought it out 2 years ago, I'd be really forgiving. But because, like, machine learning and stuff has moved on so much, I can't even remember what I was asking, if I'm honest. But it just did not kind of, it just failed to, like, and some of the responses it gave were like neither here or there. But I'm pretty sure if I look at it again in 2 months' time, it'll be good. Elementor have the Angie tool. I've had a look at it. I still feel like that needs a bit more development as well. So that needs development. The WordPress needs development. Yeah, absolutely, Phil. It is experimental, but you know, like I said, because they put it out there, and there were some people raving about it, and then when I went and had a look, and a few other people looked at it, and I know Paul looked at it, it was like, but the Elemental Angie needs development. The Elemental Ally tool. Do you know why I've not done a video yet on Elemental Ally? Have you noticed I've not done a video on it? Do you know why? It needs development. And I am a man of integrity. I could have done a video on Elemental Ally 4 weeks ago. I could have done one on Angie last week. Got access to that, you know. I could have done it. But I've held back, and I have let Elemental people know why it's not right for me to do anything on it yet, because I don't want to mislead or misrepresent or make you think that this is a good tool for you to consider, not to buy. You know, what you do is up to you, but what you want to use, because it it ain't there yet. Believe me, it ain't there yet. And if I do some basic checks, like on the Ally, Angie, and some other tool, and other plugins that have been shared my way by other people, if they don't hit my basic testing, you know, so if you say your tool does this, and I do it at a basic level and it doesn't do it, or I go, hold on, you say it does this, but it doesn't really, I'm like, nah, I'm not putting my name, I'm not supporting this. Make it true, and then you got me. Bujo says, I can't get rid of some of the text transactions in one Elemental page. Have you seen what I'm doing? What do you mean? Text transactions. What do you mean? 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 Tell me a bit more. Oh, by the way, I need to check. Are they on their way home? Because if they're on the way home, I'll have to definitely wrap this up. So let's go to find my location. McDonald's is about 6-7 minute drive away. It's about 6 to 7 minute. Where the hell are they? Where the heck are they? Oh, hold on. They're nearly home. Are they? Yeah, they're nearly home. Right. I'm going to jump off now, everyone. Animation transitions. Slightly difficult, Bujo, to be sure. Go to the Facebook, right? So please go over to over here. Please go over here to Facebook. Go over to the Web Squadron Facebook group and post into here what your problem is. And maybe some of us will have a look for you, or not. Or we'll try and do our best. All right, everyone, I'm going to jump off now. I've got to go. Food is coming. The food is on its way. Yep. Look, they are 2 minutes away. All right, everyone, I'll be, hey, Cosmin, hope you're okay. And Gary and everyone. Take care, Mark. Take care, Phil. Take care, Bujo. Take care, Francesco. Take care, Beatrice. Take care, Anthony, WebLogic, WebRiser, Steve Remen, Mifili, Aquitas, everyone that's here. Anyone's name I've missed off, really sorry. Hey, Nick, Obi, you take care too. Eddie, Daydreamer. Hopefully, I'll see you all tomorrow. Like, subscribe, share, and follow. Bye. I'm going to go eat my quarter pounders now. Squeeze.